What Lonzo thinks is a wide-ranging, free-flowing discussion where I offer my unsolicited views on everything from movies, music, politics, sports, religion, pop culture, you name it. If it's happening, I'm talking about it. My thoughts are unsolicited, but if you're listening, I guess they are solicited because you solicited yourself to listen, I think. And I'm back, and I am sharing with you my review of Shazam. Shazam! Got the chance to check out the advanced screening yesterday in Atlanta with I took my son and my stepson, my son Noah and my stepson Jordan. We had a great time, and there are times when, no matter how old you are, you think about things or you experience things that remind you of your childhood, and it just kind of takes you back to when you were a little kid, and it just kind of fills your heart with joy and glee and all that kind of stuff. And that's kind of where I was yesterday because growing up, I used to watch the TV show Shazam. It was back in the 70s, and the show came on CBS Saturday afternoons around like I think like noon or 12:30 or something like that. Anyways, it's the story of Billy Batson, a young boy who utters the word Shazam and turns into Captain Marvel. Well, no longer Captain Marvel since Marvel stole that name from DC. Well, anyways, he turns into a Greek god with the powers of Superman. He kind of just helps people and everything. And on the TV show, he rode around in an RV with some old dude, and they just kind of rode around from town to town, helping people. And whenever there was trouble or whatever, he would turn to Shazam and save the day. It was really cheesy, terrible special effects. Well, really no special effects. The practical effects were stupid. I mean, it was just really a super low budget. I mean, it was just cheesy. But when you're a kid and you're saying that, you don't care. It's just, just something that kind of excites you and everything. And I've always been big into superheroes and the comics and things of that nature. And I read the Shazam comics and everything, and the Captain Marvel comics. So I was always kind of into it. So now, with the advent of all this technology and CGI and everything, and superhero films, you get now it's like as an adult you're getting to see the things that you saw that you dreamt about as a kid wanting to see, especially in the movies and everything. So it's always a treat to kind of get out to the theater and see stuff like this, and sharing it with my son and my stepson made it even more special. So I was really excited to get a chance to see the advanced screening of the film. So I will give a brief review, spoiler free. I'm not going to spoil anything for anyone who wants to go out and see it when it does come out. I think it comes out nationwide on the 4th or 5th of April. I'm definitely going to go see it again. So, anyways, this particular iteration of Shazam, of course, it's a DC comic, so it's part of the DCEU, so to speak. Um, so that's the link that kind of ties it all together, so to speak, as well. So, anyways, I'll just briefly just kind of go into it. Like I said, I'm not going to spoil it for anyone or anything like that. Just give my quick snapshot, review, synopsis, thoughts, whatever you have it on the film itself. And once again, it's the origin story of Billy Batson, and we kind of pick it up where he's already a teenager. Well, the origin kind of goes a little bit further back than that, but I'm not going to spoil that because it's a bit of a twist in the film. But he is a teenager. He's a foster child, run away from home, all that kind of stuff, and he's a juvenile delinquent, so to speak. He's a good kid, but he's actually trying to find something. He's trying to fill a void in his life. So he's not someone who's going out, dealing drugs or anything like that, or committing heinous crimes or anything like that as a juvenile. He's just a disillusioned kid who's trying to find something. So he gets picked up by a foster family. He's been in several group homes and foster homes and everything. And he gets picked up by this family who already has, I think, 5 other foster kids, and they immediately take to Billy, and but he kind of keeps them at arm's length and everything. And one of the kids is Freddie Freeman. If you know it from the comics, Freddie Freeman is turns out to be his best friend. Freddie in this particular iteration is handicapped, he has to walk with the help of a cane, I guess you want to call it, and but they strike up a fast friendship, and Billy kind of helps him out with some issues at school with bully, things of that nature, and he winds up getting chased by some bullies and ends up in a subway when he gets summoned by the wizard Shazam to his lair, so to speak, and he actually just bestows his powers upon Billy Batson, and he becomes Shazam, and we're off and running. And that's basically the crux of the of Billy's origin um, into this superhero in the film. And one of the things that I can say about this film is that I like most about it is the characterizations. The characters are very well drawn out, very well drawn out. You get to meet everyone. You get to find out what their motivations are, who they are. You get their backstories a little bit. You get a bit of a character arc, and it doesn't drag the film at all because the way the characters are introduced is purely organic. So you can gestate from these introductions what these people are all about and what their parts are in the story, so you don't have to go through a lot of exposition to kind of get you up to date, especially if you've never seen or heard of Shazam or Captain Marvel or anything like that. It kind of indoctrinates you into the story or into the lore of Shazam without a whole lot of unnecessary exposition. And that's one of the things I really appreciate about it. The characterization and also the casting. The casting in this film is spot on perfect, just spot on. The actors in this film are tremendous. I really can't even it's not even hyperbole. The kid, his name is Asher Angel, who plays Billy Batson, is magnificent. He just nails it. And the Freddie Freeman character is played by Dylan Jack Glazer, I think that's his name. He's magnificent. And Shazam, the superhero, the superhero formerly known as Captain Marvel, is played by a guy by the name of Zachary Levi. I don't know anything about Zachary Levi. I know he was on a television show or is on a television show, but a show that I've never watched, so I really don't care much about it. So I didn't really know him as an actor. And he actually nails it as well because Shazam is actually Captain Marvel. I keep wanting to call him Captain Marvel for the purpose of this review. I'm going to call him Captain Marvel because that's who he was back in the day, and he really doesn't have a name now. And that's one of the quirky things about the film is that they're trying to find a name for him, trying to come up with a name for the character because obviously Captain Marvel now belongs to the MCU. So. The one of the elements of the story, and a lot of folks have said this, the movie Big with Tom Hanks, if you can remember from the late '80s, early '90s, where you got a young boy trapped inside of the body of a grown man. Same difference here. You have the hero, of course, he's a grown man, but Billy the boy is trapped inside of this body. So the actor Zachary Levi has to be an adult acting like a young child who's instantly given these powers and trying to deal with them. And the nuances of the character, he absolutely positively nails it. I was blown away by the performances. And you really don't hear that much when it comes to superhero films or comic book films. Is the nature of the performances. It's rare that you get such strongly developed and drawn out and fleshed out characters as you have here in this particular film. And the lead actors are just magnificent, and that really adds to the enjoyment of the film itself. And of course, no film, especially superhero film, no superhero film is going to work without a strong villain. Really, because if you don't have a strong villain, the story becomes kind of one note. Well, Shazam has a very strong villain, Dr. Savannah, and it's played by the actor Mark Strong. You might remember Mark Strong. He played Sinestro in the Green Lantern film with what's his name, Ryan Reynolds. So Mark Strong, he's been around for a while. He's been in a lot of different films and things of that nature. He's always been a strong actor. I liked him a lot in the Kingsman series as well. He did the Kingsman film. So I've always been aware of his abilities as well. And he nails the role of Dr. Savannah. And one of the things I like about the Dr. Savannah role, the villain role, is that his character gets fleshed out as well. Actually, the film opens with Dr. Savannah fleshing that character out, so you really know his motivations. And the thing is, when it comes to any movie, any film, when you have good versus evil, so to speak, you have to at least identify with the motivations of the villain and what the villain is trying to achieve. And it has to make sense and B, it has to be something that's realistic and logical and tangible. So what Dr. Savannah wants in this film is tangible and it makes sense. So it makes for a more compelling character. And one of the underlying themes of the film is about family. How Billy's indoctrinated into this foster family, how he adjusts to it, and he adjusts to his change in circumstances, and how his life has changed because now he has these powers. Well, Dr. Savannah, his the crux of his story is also rooted in family as well. And there's some things that happen at the very beginning of the film that really fleshes that out, and you're able to identify with his needs as well. So he's not evil for just purely for the sake of being evil. He's evil with a purpose. And when your villain has a purpose, it just makes for a more compelling character, and it makes the conflict between the good and evil more tangible. So that being said, obviously, I love this film. I absolutely adore it. It was tremendous, and that's saying a lot for me, because I generally don't like films with kids in them. I just don't. I'm an adult, of course, and of course I take my kids to see films that are family type films and things of that nature that have kids in them, but I don't gravitate towards films that have lead characters or primary characters that are children. I really don't like family oriented films. Of course, as a parent, you sit through them and you endure it for the sake of your kids, but I never seek them out. So, and obviously, the thing that really drew me into this, obviously, is my childhood memories from watching Shazam as a kid, and also I'm a huge fan of the DCEU. I'm a huge fan of superhero films in general. So that was the thing that really kind of pulled me into it. But that being said, I was still kind of reluctant a little bit because I don't like kids. I don't like films with kid main characters. So if that makes any sense. But anyways, um, that notwithstanding, I still love the film, and it really kind of the way the story plays out. Even though these are kids, uh, it has a lot of adult themes to it. It has even it's rated PG-13. It does have some violence. It's some off-screen violence. It's highly implied, but it has dramatic elements. It has some heart-wrenching elements. It has enough for the child in you and also for the adult in you, so to speak. And I think that's very very important. The way the film is drawn out is very important that you kind of tie those two together between the adult and the child inside of you. And it's something that I think if you immerse yourself into the film, you're going to identify with it on a lot of different levels. And there are plenty of twists in the film. I'm not going to ruin those for you, but as you may have heard, if you really follow the films or anything like that, Dwayne Johnson has signed on to play Black Adam, which is one of the major villains in the Shazam universe, or more of an anti-hero in the Shazam universe. So one of the things I was kind of looking for in this film was references to that character or a cameo by Dwayne Johnson or by Black Adam. Also, there are some cameos as well by another familiar superhero. I won't spoil it for you. And there's a nice twist in the third act as well, where some other people show up to give Shazam a helping hand, and I'll leave it at that. And also, there's a nice post credit scene. There's two post credit scenes that you may want to stick around and check out as well. And there's a lot of Easter eggs, and a lot of references to the DCEU, so you know that the world that these characters live in is the same world that Superman, Batman, The Flash, Wonder Woman, Aquaman all live in. So the groundwork is there to tie these characters in together, or they can still be separate. So the way that this film has been drawn out, they can go two ways with it. So if the film is a major hit, they can draw it into the DCEU. If the film flops, then it really doesn't impact the DCEU in a negative manner. But this film is going to be a hit. There's no way this film cannot be a hit because it is so well made. The acting, the performances, the way the characters are drawn out, the action, everything about this film is at a high level. There's a high production value. I don't know what the budget was, but it's a high production value. There's a lot of love and a lot of skill into this film, placed into this film. The actors are really engaged. You can tell that Zach Levi is really engaged in his role. He loved this role. He loved what he was doing. You can tell that the Billy Batson character, I think Asher Angel, he was really in tune to what he was doing. So was the Freddie Freeman character, and so were the other characters as well. And like I said, there's some other characters that show up later on in the film that is gonna really, it'll really put a smile on your face if you really, and especially if you know the comics, you've read the comics, and you know these characters. When you see them, it's really gonna take it to the next level. And it really took it to the next level for me. So the first, second, and third acts, each act worked, and it didn't drag at all. Some films kind of drag in the middle during the second act. No, this film never drug at all, because there were just so many different things that they had to accomplish in a short amount of time. The film was like over 2 hours long, like 2 hours and 7 minutes, I believe, long. And there's a lot of stuff they had to kind of get squeezed in, but they did it in a way to where it didn't feel heavy-handed. There was no exposition, no drawn-out exposition. It was all done organically, so it made the film flow. So the pacing of the film is spot the fuck on. It really is. And that's really impressive as well for me, and that just made for a more enjoyable experience. So I highly recommend you go see it. It comes out, I think, on August 4th. Not August 4th, good Lord. April 4th or April 5th. Whenever it comes out, be sure you check it out. If you're into this kind of stuff, if you're into these kind of films, definitely check it out. If you watched Shazam as a kid, you gotta check it out. If you just want good family entertainment, you gotta check it out, because the kids are gonna love it. The male and female, the boys and girls, they're gonna love it, because there's something for everybody in this film. Like I said, there is some violence, but it's like I said, the violence is mostly implied and off screen, so you can take your young kids to see it and not have to cover their eyes or anything like that. There are some CGI characters that could be kind of horrifying, but I think at this stage in the game, it's not anything no one's never seen before, so I don't think it is anything you really have to kind of shield your kids from. But it's definitely an enjoyable time at the movies. I can't wait for the sequel. I can't wait to see these characters get drawn in further into the DCEU and how they're going to tie everything in together with the other DCEU characters. And I highly, highly recommend it. So when Shazam comes out, be sure you go see it. So what do you think? What are your thoughts? Did you see, were you able to attend one of the advanced screenings? And if so, hit me up below. Let me know what you think. Am I way off base, or did you feel the same way about it? Were the characterizations and the directing and the pacing of the film as good as I say it is? Well, the Easter eggs, did you catch the majority of those? I caught a lot of them. I'm sure I probably missed a lot as well. I'm going to go see it again. So I think on the second viewing, I'll be able to catch some of the Easter eggs, more of the Easter eggs as well. But like I said, the film, there's a very important cameo at the end of the film. So, just make sure that you keep your eyes open for that as well. You can't miss it, really. But it's going to put a smile on your face. So tell me what you think so far. What are your thoughts about Shazam? Do you have any concerns before you see it? Is there anything about it that is kind of pushing you away? Are you sick of the DCEU? Are you sick of superhero films? Is it now oversaturated? I don't think it is, but is the industry now oversaturated with these types of films? Let me know what you think. Hit me up below. Hit me up on Twitter at WhatLonzoThinks. Email is whatlonzothinks@gmail.com. Hit me up on Facebook. Toss it in. Smack it up, flip it, rub it down. Let me know what you think. So, Shazam, April 5th. Go see it, or go to the advanced screenings if there's any in your area. Go see it and tell me what you think, because I just told you what Lonzo thinks. Bye.